Welcome to the OSP Unmuted podcast, the Seriously Unserious podcast. Today it is the producer, Safa Mustafa, if you don't already know me. We have our co-producer,
What's
and
popping, everyone? My name is Yonling.
we have a guest today. If you're an OSP student, you already know this face. Look very familiar. We have our counselor, John Smith, and today we're going to be talking about the OSP summer program and what all that is about.
Yes, well, again, welcome. Well, thank you for having me as a guest. Everyone pretty much know me as academic advisor for the OSP program, John Smith.
So let's start with what is the OSP summer program? You want to start off with that, John?
Yeah. So basically our OSP summer enrichment program is pretty much designed for students that's coming out of high school and giving them like a tutorial, like an introduction to what college may look like in the fall. We pretty much tend to do a lot of engagement over the summer. Academics engagement, networking, you name it, just to get the students acclimated to the college life. This is something we call it academic boot camp because of the simple fact that students are giving up their whole summers well, not their whole entire summer, but this 6 weeks or 5 weeks out of their summer just to be able to get a head start on the academic year. Cover a lot, as far as tutoring, we do the financial aid aspect for them. We just try to get them kind of lined up, whereas when the fall comes, they just got to continue to follow the lead that we set forth for them. That's all.
So how long have you been doing the OSP summer program, and what was it like when you first went through the summer program yourself?
Well, I'm OG status, so this is my 23rd. No, this is my 24th summer.
God bless.
Yeah, you see all these gray hairs, that's where they come from. But it's my 24th summer. And it's always a very, warming, rewarding type of feeling once, well, let me backtrack. Starting is like what we're getting ourselves into with the new students because generations are already changing right before our very eyes. If I do a comparison from back in the day to now, of course, it's totally different, dealing with the tech babies versus the ones that didn't have all the technology at that point in time. We was able to control it a little more, whereas because it wasn't all about you had to go to your cell phone. You wasn't allowed to have a cell phone. So over the years, due to the technology, we got to integrate that into our summer program, which at times it makes it a little more challenging because students got bad habits already on their cell phones, even grown folks. I'm not just going to label just the kid, the youngins, the young scholars that come in. I know people, my age that's like addicted to this cell phone, but back in the day, you couldn't even have a cell phone. So you was pretty much kind of forced to network, the tutoring, it was more hands-on. Whereas now technology kind of swayed it a little bit, and it's all up to the individual. Basically, it's really up to the individual how focused they want to come in and try to excel. The rules and regulations that we implement in our program this is what it is. Back in the day, we had students that it took them a week to understand this is real. And then, now, some students takes them a little longer. But back in the day, everything was textbook. Like you had to get the books, boom, boom. And, we had the numbers, of course, was a little larger, you know what I mean? Right now, the numbers are a little smaller. Not too much of a slight difference except for the numbers and the technology aspect of it. But other than that, it was always designed to not break a student, but to say, show us what you got. If you're
Yeah.
serious about college, show us what you got because this right here is going to make you or break you. So pretty much slight difference, that's all.
You want to know what's interesting? So the other day, I actually found out there's a city or a county in Ohio where they banned phones in their high school. There's a school district, I remember now, where there's no phones. You can't have your cell phone in school. And they're showing like what that looks like, and it's people playing like card games during lunchtime, just like having conversations with people that they're really not friends with, but they're sitting right next to them in the cafeteria. And that's kind of how it was during like my summer program. So in 2019, I went through the OSP summer program. And for those of us that are watching that don't know OSP, OSP stands for Opportunity Scholarship Program, basically another form of EOF. EOF stands for Educational Opportunity Fund, which is like a statewide New Jersey college program. Every college kind of has their own program. It might just be run differently, but we just call it OSP
It's
here.
all EOF. Every college has a different acronym.
Yeah.
In New York is EOP, and then Pennsylvania and New Jersey EOF.
I really wish we kind of brought that back because you're right. As someone that is working like the summer program and has worked past like four summer programs, it has changed in different ways, especially during COVID. And I feel like that's kind of what tripped us up. And like even as someone that like works on social media and like kind of has to be on her phone every single day, I find it harder to like pull away from my phone. Like I can't just mindlessly scroll on Instagram anymore. Um, because then I can't like focus on anything else. And like even if I try to focus on something else, I can only focus for like 5 minutes. So I definitely get what you're saying when it comes to that. Um, so let's talk about the dorming experience for the summer program because I feel like that's like the exciting part of the summer. But I know like for you, because you used to be like the hall director a few years ago.
It's for
That was
18 years. 18 years. I ran the dorms like a military.
yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
I think it's important that as a college student, that you get that type of residence life experience. You know what I mean? For some students, it's away from being home. You're getting to know how, it's just a little snippet of how college life is. When academic year is more populated. You got it's on full blast in fall. But the summer, we just got a small cohort. But it's just about breaking habits and instilling responsibility and accountability. And again, look at 18 years ago when I started doing it, students was more open to like the discipline piece of it. Whereas now students think that you're reprimanding them because you look, I don't want to see your cell phone, this, that, the other, because I create the atmosphere where people it's like you use your brother keeper, use your sister keeper. Like if I say tutoring starts at 6 and anybody come in at 6:05, y'all all wear it because it's all about accountability. So I had students holding other students accountable, like, yo, we got to get to tutoring because John, he's going to take away, 30 minutes of our free time, or he's going to wake us up early in the morning. I'm going to get my time back. But it's shaping you for the world. It's shaping you, whereas, when someone say, yo, 9 o'clock, it starts, you need to be on go at 8:30, So it's all about breaking habits because, a lot of students, they come from, you know, households where I'm just keeping them 100. A lot of students run their households. I ain't getting up and I ain't do that. Like, so I used to get a lot of that. And I'm breaking you up out of that because I dare you to go past a time limit that I'm telling you got to be up, So I used to wake them up at 5:30. We in breakfast at 10 to 7, because depending on the numbers, not everybody could rush the bathroom, you know how the setup is. But just, breaking habits, you know what I mean? And making students kind of like network within, you know what I mean? Because again, if you survive the summer program and if you survive college, the person normally you came in with, you hope that you can graduate with. Not necessarily that's the case. But I pretty much created that environment, whereas it was academics. We had our little, free time, downtime. We did trips, bowling, all that. But you're gonna get that work in. And so and I communicate with all the professors. And I was really, even though I had my daytime students, I had my dorm students, I really was zeroing in because I want to know, normally in the past, dorm was academically more, you know, they exceeded a little more because they was in an environment 24/7, for like 4 days from Sunday to Thursday. You go home Thursday. So it shouldn't be no reason why, unless your deficiency is low on your academic skills are low, is no reason why you should be failing, and especially you in the dorm because you're not home. Like we got mad classrooms, mad space. I got tutors on deck at night, everything. So why we failing? So a lot of students, I had some students that moved out. Yo, he too strict. He this, he that. And I had some students like I'm up for the challenge. And the ones that was up for the challenge, I would say a great percentage of them had graduated. Not all, but over the years, with the dorm, they academically succeeded a little more better than the commuters because they was in that environment. And after like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, I had students that was, made the job easy because now they waking up on their own. I mean? They already know the bathroom better be clean. They know when they go to breakfast, they better make sure the tables are clean. Wherever you eat at, make sure that you clean up behind yourself. So a lot of students like, man, I ain't never get this at home. And you up here breaking me into these habits. And some of it spilled over where it made that student a better person. And then some of them just was like, man, look, this is too much for me and I'm out. And hey, and like I said, some graduated and some that dorm didn't. But for the most part, they walked away knowing that I have a sense of what accountability is. I got a sense of, brotherhood, sisterhood, fellowshipping, networking. Because I'm going to make sure you get that because, you know, that's how I designed it. So yeah, now everybody all sensitive. Oh, why is this? Why is it? Crying and everything. Like, welcome to the world. Like, I'd rather you cry in my face than to cry out in this world because this world is real cold. So for a lot of students, they came and told me that that was a great help for them, and I'm always around, what I mean? So when you get stuck, it's not like you by yourself. I hope you get through it, but you got to show me something, so those are good old days. I used to love, hey, listen, this is the carrot on the cake. I used to love dismissing people because now the other people that survived that week, next week they're going to be even better because they like, yo, my friend leaving. Your friend ain't doing no work, gotta go. So for some people, for some students, when they saw that someone that they came in with, they might have went to the same high school, they might have came from the same community, they know this person, because you know how normally people kind of gel to people they know. I used to mix all that up. When I used to do the floor plans, I used to make sure I put a North with someone from South Jersey. I'll mix it up. You got to get to know each other. Whereas now, I want, you know, I want Barbie in my room. Barbie's not going in your room. Barbie's downstairs.
You know what I remember and what I kind of miss? Not to say that we don't do this anymore, because I'm pretty sure we still do, but the separation of genders and how like it was almost illegal to go onto the second floor.
I dare you.
Yeah. Because that instilled discipline. And a lot.
Yes.
And I feel like
I,
that's the whole point of the summer program. So discipline, you gotta wake up at this time, you gotta prepare, you gotta make sure like if you're late, there will be consequences. And we're just trying to make sure that like during the summer is almost like a replica of what'll happen during like the fall. Like get your textbook before class. If you know you got a math class like 10 minutes after your English class, bring that same textbook when you leave in that morning.
Listen, when I was running it, you wasn't allowed to go back to your rooms. When you
Yeah.
leave out 7 in the morning, you would not see your dorm room till 8 o'clock at night. So by the time you get back to your dorm room, you is about to fall on your face, or you're gonna order some Chinese food or some pizza, and you better get it in advance, because at a certain time it's my food. So people was just like, yo, you is crazy. I said, nope. But for the most part, where a lot of students embraced it in the summer and they really bought into the process and they trust the process is when they got to the academic year and they have more freedom. They'll come to me be like, yo, it's not like the summer. I'm like, I try to tell you, I try to instill habits and stuff in you now. So then when the fall comes, you got that flex, you could be like, nah, and if you entertain the flex, you know, again, don't buy into it like that. So I had students who tell me that all the time. They just be like, you know, I miss those strict rules and regulations because of fall. It was like And, some ultimately got on academic probation or got in some trouble, because, you're in the population now. So in the population, everybody is just wilding. But I had students that told me in the past that, they really like it really was helpful to them because they felt like they belonged to something, you know what I mean? But the fall, everybody just, hey, go haywire, so. And I think your class was the largest one that I ever did. I think if you came in that year and it was 137 people in the dorm.
Really?
I don't know
130?
if you came in with Shamari, that's the year that I had the
Wow.
most ever in my life. Because normally it'd probably be like 40, 50, but that year I had 137. I had two buildings. And
Buildings? So
yeah,
you had co-op and Voja?
I had co-op in Voldra and I had it
That's
like
crazy.
it
Now
was
I wasn't there, but damn, I kind of wish I was there.
yeah. And I ran it just like every other summer. You know what I mean? It was for me, it was forget it. I was totally exhausted. But for the most part, I had two buildings and it ran the way that I normally run my ship, you know what I mean? But that was the largest number I ever had in my life. So yeah.
Damn, I kind of wish I was there. No, I came in 2019. I don't know what year Shamari came in, but
Yeah, I think you came into what?
2019.
Yeah, sure. I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn, missed a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the dorms are still kind of run the same way. We have different rules and regulations, I would say.
Yeah. Again, once I passed the baton, you know, but for the
Yeah,
most part, it still has a structure. But
yeah,
again, due to technology and a lot of other issues, some things became a little more relaxed because of the times has changed. It still has a structure. It's just a little more flexible. And I didn't give that flex. Like it was this way and that way only because they don't know the huge responsibility it was on with me as a director, and I got to manage my staff, I got to manage the students, then I got my daytime job. So, like, I ain't got no time for the miscellaneous stuff. I mean, for 6 weeks, I'm locked in. From the time you move in to the time you move out, I don't have a life because I dedicated to y'all. I dedicated to the dorm to make sure that y'all get the best experience possible, but also let you know that this is the real deal. That's basically what it was.
yeah. And I can say as one of your students, like, I definitely appreciated that because it taught us like what college was actually like and like the strictness that like we needed within ourselves to make sure that like we got it, we're good. Like you're gonna be there throughout the school year, we all know that, but we got to be the ones to like first reach out because that first year, like we all come in as a collective and we all get through the summer program. As long as like you got discipline and like you're about that life, you can get through it. But we all know that like when the semester starts, things get a little bit different because we're not in that same community anymore. Like we're not dorming with EOF students, we're dorming with everyone else that's a freshman. And not everyone went through the summer program and had that like discipline like with the stilled within them. And as long as you're not too easily influenced, most people should be okay. But what you said is true. Like you would hope that who you're coming in with during the summer program is who you leave out with during graduation, but it's not really like that.
No, no, no. I mean, again, like I said, I can't say if I was running the dormitories to this day, that it will still impact this generation that's coming in now with, it's just more of everything. It's more excessive on everything. I think what made me throw in the towel is that I just felt it was, this job is for a younger person now. Like, give somebody else a chance. And then with this old vaping and all that, it was too hard to manage. And then the technology became a little more loose, whereas now you have to have your phones and stuff. So I was like, you're taking away the core values of this, but we have to go with the times. But
Mm.
just certain things that I just saw that was a young person game. And I just was glad to pass the baton to whoever and say, look, here's the blueprint and craft it to your, to what works for you. And then good luck and God bless.
So, John Lee, do you want to give a little bit more about your experience as a commuter during the summer program?
Yes, of course. I came in the summer academy 2022, and I done the whole entire 6 week. So what I was doing was coming from here to my house, and then to my house to straight to Amazon, and then from Amazon I was coming in straight to here in the morning every single day. And that was some day when I was able to like escape. Some days where I was like my job like I can come tomorrow. I need to rest because I got a lot of homework to do. Or those days when we were doing like in my English class that we were doing every single week an essay. So I was like, I need to revise this at least for like 2 days or 4 days before the deadline. So that was on, they gave us on from Thursday, that it was the last day, to next Thursday or to the next Wednesday. So I was like on Monday, I was revising with my tutor, she was really helpful at the time because my English was really bad. Um, and it's still kind of bad sometimes, but I've improved a lot. I've improved a lot since then. I took the challenge. I signed up for it. I survived. I passed it. I also did. I keep a student speech during that summer, which again it wasn't the best, but I did it. So hopefully I can do it again when I graduate for the OSP graduation and for the whole entire university graduation as well. I'm looking up for it. So yeah.
Cuba came in. Cuba was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know." I said,
Yeah, I remember I came twice for orientation. Like I came one day and then it wasn't that day. It was the next day. Yeah.
and I must admit, man, from Amazon to here, I don't know how you did it, but that would show the determination and commitment that you put forth. And I'm just happy to see that you're still in the game. And, again, you got to go through to get through. Same thing with Safa. Safa came, just point the light on you on your experience. Because Safa came in and she was like, I had the privilege to meet you at the University Charter School.
Oh
And then
yeah.
and then Safa came in, she was about to run the world. I said, girlfriend, you better slow down. You about to hurt yourself. She's like, no, 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 I got this. I said, girlfriend, slow down. This is a whole different world. And Safa embraced it, and now it's just a wonderful feeling that you graduating next year. See?
Inshallah. John Lee, by the way, your English is perfect. It's fine. Like as long as like I can hold a 5 minute conversation with you, then you're good. Because I really don't like it when you say, well, when a lot of other people say like my English is bad or they apologize for themselves. Like when I lived in Turkey, like I would always hear like my English is not so good. And I'm like, no, your English is perfectly fine. Your English is proper English. Because like I'll have a conversation with someone that's British and like not understand anything that they're saying.
And also, you might have had broken English coming in, but look how you improved on it. And just think about how many scholars out there that is in that same predicament. And you're like motivation that, hey, look, my English is slowly enhancing, I'm learning, but Joe, this is part of the whole process. Because when you came in, he was like, leche. I said, who? And I know that was milk, but he was just, no. And I was like, yo, bro, give me the interpretation paper so I can read off this because I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But again, definitely you are a vehicle for the people that is right behind you that say that he baited. Like, I just think that you came in more determined and you allowed yourself to get to where you at today. So
Yeah, I was about to say yes. I applied for William Patterson University during quarantine, and I was putting on hold because it was, they prioritize a lot of people that apply like a year or 2 years ahead. So I just applied like 3 or 4 months after I graduate. I mean, before I graduate from high school. And after that, I was like, okay, this is for the best. Let me just, continue helping my mom, and my family back in Cuba, make some money, save a little bit for for my equipments, my instruments, my laptop.
When you're in college, like specifically at NJCU, like everyone has like a struggle story, like a really bad struggle story. Like no one woke up one day and was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to college. And then like they go to class and then they go home and do their homework and then it's fine. Like most of us specifically in OSP, Like, we'll go to class, then go to work, and then babysit our kids, and then do homework. Like, there's always like 10 different things on our plate. But like specifically going through the summer program, like everyone has their struggles. And that's not to say like some has it worse than others or like to try to downplay some people's stories. But like me specifically, like I just had a lot of family issues and I didn't really know how I was going to like go through college while still like being at home. So I had to figure out a way to just dorm, figure out the financial aspect on my own and get it done. Because when John said like I was running around, like I really was. Like every time he saw me, I was either running from work to go to class or running from class to go to work. Like there were a lot of days like I had John for my OTC orientation of college class. I would pull up late because I'm coming from work because money had to get done. Bursar had to get paid. And as long as
Mhm.
you communicate with your professors, like you should be okay, but still go to class on time. But you get what I'm trying to say.
Well, see, students fail to realize the classroom is preparing you for the world.
Yeah.
So, you have deadlines you have to meet. You're not going to go to work. You got a report due. You're going to be like, oh, I fell asleep last night. So Monday, you laid off. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things, etiquette, the whole accountability thing. That's what the classroom is setting you up for. Everybody, I hate going to classrooms. Okay, well, classroom's giving you structure. If you ain't got no structure, how you gonna make it out in this world? And that's the one thing people fail to realize. When the professor say, look, you need to be here on class time and well, especially when I was undergrad, I had professors like, look, I had one professor, you 10 minutes late, he don't care if you coming from you being parachute out the sky, he don't care about the bridge being up, he don't care about none of that. Don't touch my door. And then, he'll suppose the class started at like 9 o'clock. 9:45, if you standing out in the hallway and he'll let you in, he giving you half credit for that day. And then he let you know, look, you're not gonna be doing this because I understand you coming far. Now you got to get up early or you got to make the arrangements to get here. My class started at 9. And what message are you sending to the other class where everybody else is there? You struggling. Oh, yeah, I get it. But this person was here on the time. This person was here on the time. This person was on time. So I need to kind of be flexible with you because, I'm gonna be flexible with you. I'm gonna meet you halfway, but it's unfair to the other students that you don't even know what their commitments are getting here on time. They travel, what their living situations are, and they're here. So I get it, but I don't get it because, and I will give you grace, but I'm gonna get the grade at the end. Like, John, why you give me it? Because you was late but you understand I was coming from North. I know, but you should have got up early. You know what I mean? You need to rearrange yours. If you get off that phone at night and you could wake up early in the morning, you'll be here.
That's,
Oh,
that's real.
yeah. If the bus come at 6:30, catch the first bus. It's 6 o'clock. 5:30. I don't care how you do it, but you gotta be here on time because time represents you. You know what I mean? How you want to raise when you always damn late? Like, and then see, people want to come late and leave early. I don't get it. Like, it don't make sense to me. Oh, forgive me, I'm late, but you want to leave early. Like, I don't get it. And again, on a professor standpoint and from a professor's, perspective, if I'm gonna be late for class, I'm gonna email everybody. Look, come to class at this time because I'm running late. Boom. But I will be there. And again, I know you got to take certain things into consideration with students. I get it, but it just can't be a pattern because a pattern is going to leave you on unemployment line. Because on a job, you're messing up the productivity. If I need you here from this time, and I'm paying you, and especially I'm giving you benefits or whatever the case may be, you coming in. So if you come in 10 minutes or 15 minutes late every day, you don't got 40 hours at the end of the week. You got like 35 point something, 36 point something. Like, in order for you to get benefits, you have to have this amount of hours to get the benefits. The students don't understand that piece of it too. But, I used to be young. And trust me, I had my fair share of unfair. I thought that was unfair grades, but now I could, kind of reflect on it, and that was on me. I can't expect nobody to give me an A when I'm, missing and all this. You know, that takes a lot of your grade.
Gotcha. So before we close out, what advice, John, would you give to students that are incoming to the summer program, like this summer? How to prepare?
Well, I'll tell any student coming in, again, I hear all the stories. This is my 24th summer. A lot of students, they come to school because their parents make them come. I don't know what to tell you because, you really need to be, at least 50-50 on this. You need to be 80-20. Some students tell me, they come because their parents made them, they want to take a gap year. Well, you need to communicate that because you're going to donate some money. Because, and I think that's the misconception that a lot of students have is that, they so stuck on the high school where everything, you come get your books and all this and all that, they give you everything you need. But in college, you're paying for everything. There's nothing that's free in college. I don't care. Oh no, I go to the cafeteria, no, that's a meal plan. You pay for that. You know what I mean? It's everything, one thing I must tell students and the future scholars, college is a business before you a graduate, because we need to know how we getting paid. So if you could put out and you getting this financial aid and all this and all that, good for you. But it all adds up. You determine your destination when you come to college. And, I think a lot of these, a lot of students are scared to fail. If I can tell you about how many classes I failed, but it empowered me. I had to go back in there, I had to get it done, and I did it. But I just tried, I will say this is that, you have to at least want to be in college. That's number one. I think the fear factor, again, you have to leave room for that because it's an unknown charter territory. Whereas, you come into a new environment, people worry about meeting friends and all this and all that. So you need to have have everything lined up. I met students that wanted to come in because they wanted to say they got a college ID. But you failed everything. So you just want to go back to the hood and say, well, I go to NJCU and all this, but you might be a one-hit wonder because if you ain't doing what you got to do, you're going to be out, and then how you explain that? So there's a lot of pointers, but I just think number one is the attitude. Just give it your best shot, come in, be on time, do what's asked of you. We're going to work with you on every aspect of getting you through the 6-week summer program to help make sure that you be here for the fall, but you have to come in, meet us 50-50. Me, I get students, I got to iron them out a little bit because they come in trying to tell me what they want, like a dollar menu. I look at them and Safa, you already know, John Lee, you already know. I will give you that. But then when I come with my feedback, you ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Or you need to understand where I'm coming from. Because again, the summer program, I look at it like this, and this is what I tell all students: it's 21 days of change in your life. So you could resume back to your laying in bed and all that stuff, but get through the 21 days. And then you will see what benefits will come out of that. But for the most part, I just pray and hope that everybody that come in is willing to go hard because we're not changing our program for you. That's just, y'all can attest to that. Either you conform to what we rocking with, or it was nice knowing you and all that good stuff, because you will not be in OSP, let alone NJCU, if you're not doing what you got to do, because you're going to fail yourself. And that's the one thing, that I also want to add is that, we gotta, COVID did a number on us, but we gotta let COVID go. Like, like we got to try to get back to, how college operate. Right now I don't want to go to campus. I want all my classes online. I get it. Yeah, save you gas, money, headache. You might be, a little introvert or whatever it is. I get it. But, you know, college is meant for you to grow. College is meant for you to network, you know, be on campus, be a part of the vibe. And a lot of students right now want to pick and choose how they want to do that. And hey, if you can get through college like that, then more power to you. But I think y'all is living proof. And I think y'all are living examples of, everything comes with a trade-off. What are you willing to give up in order to get? Because you can't be the old you and the new you at the same time. It just don't work. So that's what I would leave, or that's what I would kind of throw out to all the future scholars. I don't care what school you're going to. You got to go in there with a purpose. And you may not know that purpose, but that's what college is going to do. College is going to help you discover that purpose. But you have to, kind of meet us halfway, period.
My only advice for those that are coming through the summer program is if you're dorming, you gotta have your own soap, own laundry detergent, things like that. If you're following us on our Instagram, we'll be posting videos on like what you need. If you're a commuter, we're also gonna post like things that you need.
Yeah. Good luck on the future scholars. And I also want to say I'm extremely proud of both of y'all. And the rest of the team, podcast team as well. I want to put it out there because y'all really rock. All right. So
Thank you, John. John Lee, do you have anything you want to say before we close out?
There's a lot to say. I would say, as John say, why are you willing to trade to be, the best of yourself? And I also will say something. I actually don't say I haven't said this to anybody yet because it's part of one of the stuff that I wrote for myself and for my music and comic music. So it's this: every day I want to step closer to be, I am destined to be a better me. So it's like you have to give every day, like, the best of yourself, reach your 200% to all that you do through the whole day. Also, there is another quote that I follow to one of my mentors. It's like, she told me once, like, as an artist, you have to tell to yourself every day that you go to the bed, it's like, what did I do today to be who I want to be, or to be the artist that I want to be? So it's like, I just go every day to the piano, like to 4 in the morning or like to 2 in the morning. Sometimes I'll be racing. Like right now, I just been, like having a little vacation. But like for next week, it's like I go with everything again. So just that, give your all to everything.
that's
That's
right.
what I said. Yeah.
And the one thing I leave on is, ladies and gentlemen, you want to do this while you're young. Because when you get old, as you age, we age by the minute. You see what I'm saying? Each day we get older. Each minute we get older. Each second we getting older. You don't want to have no regrets. And I tell students, it don't have to be college. It could be a trade school. But do something, military, whatever. Do something with yourself while you're young, because you can be able to bounce back. When you fail, it's nothing. And the reason why I say it, because I failed 100 classes, but I got right back in there because I had the endurance, because, I bought into the process, But when you get older, like I deal with older students, and it's so hard for them. It takes them a little longer to get back to that flow, or to create that flow in order to make it, because some might be working 2 jobs or working a job with kids, some traveling from here. That it becomes a little more difficult. While right now you still home with your parents, or you got a roof over your head, even if you got a dorm, this is your time. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you're only getting older. And right now, it's so sad that our society is set up where you have to have some type of, credentials under your belt in order for you to even have a biscuit on the table. So, that's why sometimes it frustrates me more, because I get these students that come in and I'm like, don't you know what your parents did to sacrifice for you to be here? And then you coming in here like you got this. And then when they get dismissed or they fail out of college. Now their parents calling me talking about the government taking money out they check. I said, well, they told you that from the rip. Like they told you, like, you co-sign for your child. I know you want to get them out the hood or you want to give them that college experience, but they need to be ready for it because if they're not, they're gonna come up in here, they're gonna just I met students that don't even want to go home once they get in the dorm. I'm like, yo, won't you go home for the weekend? I don't want to go there for whatever reason. But if you're not doing what you got to do up in here, and you're going right back to the block and you're going back with a bill. You're going back to the block with a bill. And believe me, it takes it takes years to get, when they, the debt that students are graduating with right now, it might take y'all a lifetime to get out of that. Student loans, something I paid back. It took me one loan 9 years, another one 13 years. It's crazy, but I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world because look where I'm at right now. I'm able to pay it back with no problem. And I paid it back with no problem. But it took me years to get it paid off. I know students coming out of Rutgers and St. Peter's and all these other colleges, great colleges. Once you graduate, they already got that thing broken down for 30 years. And believe me, each year it goes up. And trust me, that's why a lot of students right now, they graduate college, they got to stay home because their bill, their monthly student loan bill is $400, $500, $600. There's some people that pay $1,800 a month on their student loan bills. Just think about people going to those prestigious colleges, Villanova, and they 80. That's in 2 years, you get 80, you'll be up to $80,000. The bigger the college, the more it is. The more prestige the college is, the more money you're gonna pay. And believe me, that's why they tell you to name some people, write some people names down on that loan, because you can act like you're not going to pay for it. They going after them. And I saw a lot of people become homeless, trying to look out for their kids to go to college, and their kids come up here and just blow the bag. And then now they go back home. The relationships are different because, you told me you was ready and I wanted to get you out the hood. I want you to, give you that college experience. You came up with straight flags all the way down, straight flags, F's, 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 F's. So technically you wasn't really ready, or you got sucked in. And then now I got to pay this back for you. And believe me, the government gets it. They got every piece of information on you. Whereas if you try to go left, they already right there in your face. So just please come in and allow yourself to get it. You'll get it. But if you come in here thinking somebody owe you something, or you could talk reckless to people, bye-bye. That's how that goes.
All right. Anything else you want to add, John Smith?
No, I just want to wish everybody a wonderful summer. And like I said, if there's anything they got out of this podcast today, I'm hoping that I touch base on, various things that y'all might need to know. But again, right now, just do something with yourself. Get educated. Because when you get older, you're gonna wish you're gonna wish that you'd have did some things in the first quarter of your life. And that's just the bottom line. I know some people right now that wish they would have did something with themselves, but now they stuck, they can't do anything, and now it's a horrible feeling. Just do something with yourself. I don't care what it is, but move yourself to the next needle.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it's better to waste money on yourself in school than waste your money on the street. Invest in yourself.
Good job, Cuba.
I'm trying.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John, for coming and speaking to us. That wraps up this episode of OSP Unmuted, the Seriously Unserious podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and to let us know what other topics you guys want to see. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one.
You already know. Let's get it. Let's get the
Yeah.
bag.